It's all working now, Eggy.
It's good. We had a bit of a 15-minute delay with some technical difficulties.
Yes, as there always is with me, man. You know what, you know what I'm about. Uh, you know what I'm like. Oh, okay. Now we're gonna play with the camera live on here. Oh, that's all right. That works better. How you been, brother?
I'm good. Yourself?
Oh, I can't complain. I can, but as I like to say, nobody cares or listens.
So we're back up to the show. We played a bit of Fortnite last week. At the end of the show, we'll do the wheel of games. We'll both add a game in each this week, and
Yeah,
we'll see what we come
definitely.
up with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it'll be interesting. I didn't rage quit, so that was good. Unlike I think I played some multiplayer the other day, and it's funny. COD's one of those games, especially if you're not in the right frame of mind, and you're in a lobby that you just is well above your skill level. You just go, nah, I'm done. And I had two games in a row like that, and I'm like, and done. Thank you, goodbye. Switched it off, and I think went to bed. Really, that's about it. So, what's been happening this week for you?
Been selling a bit of stuff in the marketplace. I sold an old i5 4570K. Got
Just the
50
chip?
bucks. Yeah, just the chip only. Ended up putting that other PC together. It all works fine. I
Mm,
just got to give it a clean and put that up on marketplace. Picked up
sweet.
a few monitors from my parents. They're packing up to travel around Australia in the back of a caravan, so they got rid of a lot of stuff. So they
So, did they have PCs as well, or?
my mum had I think she had a laptop for work, and she had the monitors set up for that. And dad's he's a shop fitter, or was a shop fitter. He
Mm-hmm.
or he was like the production manager.
Mm.
So like they got back a whole bunch of like in Maya, like the Lancome sort of uh it's like makeup or something. It's Lancombe. They got like displays, and they got like 42-inch monitors in them, and they're like daisy chained and that. So you took out you got a whole bunch of monitors out of it when they sent it back and they pulled them apart.
Here we go, Lincoln. Oh, that's a perfume. Uh, that is not
Yes,
what.
so when you walked when you used to be able to walk into Frank's Mars, they have like the beauty section, and they have like all
Mm.
the displays there with like the screens that on it. Yeah, they used to make them.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep. I know what you mean. Like they just, the products,
Yeah,
which
yep,
like show a little film or an
yeah,
advert or yeah.
yep,
Yep. Oh, wow. It's
yeah.
pretty
So I got
cool.
yeah, so he got a bunch of them back, and then he gave me a 42-inch screen. I think he kept the 60-inch to him for himself for when they get back. They
Fair
put a
enough.
lot of stuff into storage.
Yeah. It's fair enough. It's fair enough. That's all right. You can, like you said, you can sell a whole bunch of it and maybe get an
Oh,
Xbox.
I was also flipping some coffee tables. I was picking up from Bunnings for $70, and I was selling it on Marketplace for 150.
No. Seriously, people were buying them too.
I sold two of them.
Out of,
I just bought so I bought one for us,
yeah.
and I thought because I was looking everywhere else that they had them for like
Mm.
$300 from Freedom, or like somewhere else that were $450. I thought I'll put it on Marketplaces here. We'll see what happens. And the first one sold, so then I went and bought two more. I put put the other one back in the replaced the wife's one, put that back in the lounge room, and then sold the other one. But yeah, I've given up for now.
Yeah. You only get lucky for so long
Yeah.
before someone goes, hold on, I can get these for $69 at Bunnings. Well, no shit, Sherlock. That's my FIFA going to pick it up for you. Petrol's expensive, you know. But no, that's good work. So you're sort of building up some. Yeah, well, it sounds like you got a bit of a cash to buy. A nice chip, upgraded GPU,
well,
some more
I've got a
RAM.
I've got a trailer, but it's only like a box trailer. Or it's actually a tradesman trailer. It's got the top on it with like the lift up lids and that. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna take that off, and I'm gonna get a cage, and the cages are around $360. So that's what it's sort of going in the kitty for.
Ah, right.
It's gonna go around the trailer, and then I'll
Fair
be
enough.
able to go to mum and dad's again, and I'll be able to pick up a fridge and a barbecue that they want to give away.
Sweet. So mum and dad have taken off already?
No, dad turned 60
Mm-hmm.
on Valentine's Day, so they've gone to Fiji for 10 days. And then
Lovely. Why not?
yeah, and then they'll come back, and then I think they've got like about five days cleaning up the old house and getting rid of the last of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they got to put it into storage. They got like a container or a pod or something. They fill up the pod and that goes into storage for a year or two.
Okay, but they're not selling their place. They're just.
Yeah, they sold the place. So yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So they've done the. Yep. We're done. We're out of
Yep.
here.
So yeah,
We're retiring.
they are pretty much they're retiring. They're just going to go on the road, and once they find home, they're going to stay there, I suppose.
Okay, so they haven't decided where they want to sort of.
They haven't sort of decided. The sort of thing in Queensland, sort of back to Queensland sort of way. That's where I first grew up.
Yeah, because I remember you saying you grew up in Queensland. So have you got family? Because you got family in Queensland.
Yeah,
haven't
I got two brothers in Queensland. One with the family. One just single by himself.
you? No, that's okay. No, that's all right. So
That's
mum and dad. So would the plan be for the Egmeister at some point consider that, or?
But no, I'm pretty content down here. I like it down here. My friends are down here, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? You know, you put your roots down and you're like, I know I liked it when I grew up, but do I want to go back there? Yeah, it's also it's a bit of a sort of with what you do for a living, it's a bit of a tougher gig up there. It doesn't it doesn't
it's
pay
a
as
lot warmer. It's a lot
well.
warmer
It's a
up
lot
there.
warmer. Don't get paid as well either. It's not as regulated,
Yep.
and take a look at what's going on over there in New South Wales. A whole bunch of builders are going belly up, and
Yep.
most of them have been Queensland, with a few in New South Wales, with the odd one in Victoria.
Yeah.
So yeah, but good to hear. So what? I should bring up your topics.
Well, what
If
we
I
do,
was
we're gonna
organised.
we're gonna kick the show off like we started last time with the dad jokes. So I got my next one of the list, and it's where do hamburgers go to dance?
Oh God, I'm scared. Where do hamburgers go to dance, Eggy?
The meatball.
Oh, beautiful. Love it. We should have a sound effect for that.
That does it for my joke this week. You got any for this week, or
Ah,
you
I,
don't have to?
I've got. I'm going to absolutely make yours look like comedic gold. Why did the koala bear fall out of the tree?
Because it was nuts.
Nope, it was dead. Why did the second koala bear fall out of the tree?
I'm not sure. I'm a bit scared to ask now.
It was attached to the first one. Why did the third koala bear fall out of the tree, Eggy? It thought it was a game. Told you, mate. I told you I was going to make your joke look like comedic gold, my friend.
I'm not sure if you knew this, but I finally decided to record each show, and we're going to be able to swap it to the audio version, so you'll be able to catch this on Spotify as of next week. So
Joe Rogan, watch out.
On the way to work, you'll be able to listen to us.
Listen to us ramble like rambling, well, one rambling idiot and one intelligent bloke. And let me tell you, there's a lot of things I've been called, Eggy. Intelligence, not one of them.
Shooting above the stars for me there, Ali.
So, anyway, let me quickly bring up our topics. Because you did send me a link.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Thought I'd just
Nope, that's not it. That's
Get
the
up-
link
get
I
up
sent
the-
you for really cheap RAM.
get up the Google Drive. Well, I did have like. Is there any new computer news you got to bring up this week? I haven't really.
I think we spoke about the X3D chips last week.
Yes, we did.
So they still haven't. They're about to launch. So there's been some commentary around that. There's been some. I'm just trying to think what else was there that I've read this week that's been interesting. I have been looking at 32 versus 64 gig of RAM and what the difference is there, and I was kind of a bit spewing because there was a bit of a bargain on Amazon.
It was. Let me just.
But here no more for DDR5 RAM, which was like, you know, it was just amazingly good. What else have we got? Let me. Oh, stop bringing it up over there, will you?
There was that RAM, it was a 64 gig 2x32 gig Corsair, and it was only 235 on Amazon.
Oh yeah, I don't think that was no, it was 395, I think it was for DDR5.
Oh, yeah. And there was also the 3060 from Shopping Express for just over $400.
Now,
Alex.
I did pick up on something on that though. It's the mythical 8 gigabyte card. Ooh. It is definitely a nerfed 3060. So anyone who's seen that on Ozbargain, be very aware that is a nerfed 3060. Like, it was launched and there was no fanfare and it got smashed. So it's not the 12 gig card. So just be aware of that, because it will perform considerably not as good. About 30% is where it's going. So the other thing I've noticed is Intel chips have come down in price. Look, I got my 13900. I got the 13900K for Rochi. Very cheap. It was quite good. So I've got to move on some stuff myself. Like you, I've got to get onto Facebook Marketplace. But I have noticed there was a Discord bug with NVIDIA graphics cards, which has now been fixed.
Yep.
I actually just updated the driver before the show. I think that's why I had to reboot, so I did. I think it kind of messed with something. I don't know. Anyway, I think I have to do a fresh install of Windows on this PC, to be quite honest, because it's doing some weird stuff. And I know it's all software related. Like, for example, the internet suddenly decides it's not gonna work, and oh, that's not what I wanted to do. What do I want? I want. Can I view gallery? Yes. Full screen? Yes. And also I did buy a brand new router. So my D-Link Taipan bit the bullet. I was far from happy. I was never a huge fan of that thing. I'll be honest. It just, from day one, it just did some funky stuff. Yep. And it doesn't do. It would, like, I had 1 gig. Like, I've got 1 gig download speeds with a Aussie Broadband. If you need a link, hit us up. And it never got close to that. I think 500, maybe 600 on a good day was what I would get. Now, I'm hoping I don't embarrass myself here, Eggy, and it works the way it should. Right? Let's give this a burl. So I'll hit the go button on speed test, and this is what the TP Link Archer AX 11000 get. Oh,
well, we got a 2 microsecond ping. That's good.
It is, but that is not going at full speed. I don't know why it's not doing that. But just to give you an idea, yeah, that's definitely not going as fast as it should be. So, why are you doing this? There is definitely something going on. But whilst you do that,
could it be the stream eating to it, or?
No, it should. It's just doing a ping test and just the speed of how much you can do. It shouldn't definitely be doing that. So,
was that 10% of what it was at last time?
Yeah, it was actually, and that's why I'm like, what the hell? But I've got a funny feeling I need. Yeah, it's still doing that. So why are you doing that?
It's because you're live and you're showing everyone.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. But just to give people an idea, like I've got a 1 terabyte, I want a 1 gig connection, and I'm hitting 950.
Yep.
On busy periods, it's about 8 in the 7 and 8s, which I wasn't getting. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'm hoping we're not affecting the stream, and the stream's okay and going. 4070 Ti obviously launched to a plethora of shit. Is probably the best way to describe it. Basically what happened was, it got launched, and all the reviews are just like, Nvidia's just another greedy grab at money. And look, at the moment, my advice to people is GPUs. Mate, go get an Xbox. Like at the moment, everything is actually reasonably priced except for GPUs, and until we as gamers and consumers turn around and not buy shit and very clearly indicate to these both AMD and Nvidia, especially Nvidia, no, we're not paying that price for those cards. So give you an idea, 4080 launched at, I remember at the time when I got my first 3080, which was just as they launched. They hadn't launched a couple of weeks, and I paid, and I remember thinking, wow, I paid too much. It was $1,700 or $1,800, I think. It was something around that mark. A 4080, which absolutely I'm not going to sit here and pretend, oh, that is not much better than a 3080. It is. It's considerably better. It craps on a 3090 Ti, which was a $3,000 card.
Yeah.
So, there's no doubt it's got performance. But the 2080 Ti was, at the time, brand new. They were selling for $1,700, $1,800. Then the 3080 launched, and they were selling for $1,700. So they were around that same price of what the previous gen was, with considerably more performance. 4080's come out, and I cannot find one for less than, I think, around that. Look, if you're lucky, you might find one of those really base model, which will have noisy fans. It'll have coil wind. It won't have RGB. It'll do what you need it to do, but it's not going to be the nicest card.
Yep.
Let's be fair. But for a decent card, you're looking between that 2.1 to 2,200. It's ridiculous. It's $500, $500 too much. And that's why I say to people, $500 is a lot of money, especially in the current climate. You've got interest rates going up. They went up again, 25 basis points this week. And the Reserve Bank is not looking like it's planning on stopping.
Is it almost worth going back a series, like to the 3080? Or
100%. That was my next thing, is go and look at the used market. I'm seeing 3080s for $900, man.
Not even used, I suppose. Like, at least you can buy it brand new for $1,500, or are they going around? How much are they going?
3080. I think 3080s and 3090s are getting. 3090s and 3090 Ti's, I'm pretty sure you can't get anymore.
Yeah.
But let me have a quick look if there is a. Yeah, even 3080 stock now, man, is really, really hard to find.
I've never heard of PNY, but Centacom have got a PNY 3080, 10 gig uprise triple fan graphics card for $1,099.
Yeah, it's Pony. That's how you pronounce it. It's a Chinese brand, very popular overseas. Really popular overseas. It's I think a Chinese made card. It's probably not going to be quite as good as your MSI or.
Well, there's the MSI Ventus 3X here for $1,500 at Scorptech.
There you go. So you've got. Hold on. So let me Google's 3080.
So there's 2 units in Clayton, Rowville and South
Look,
Melbourne. Are
even
all
you've even got
679.
3080 Ti's. You know, for Scorptech's got one here for a 983D iChill for 1279.
Yeah, because
Um,
at least there you're getting your warranty. You don't have to go for
Yeah.
the hassle of going second hand.
Yeah, true, but insane. Yeah, so I mean, where are we? What
Like
about?
sometimes it's not worth the paper they're written on, but at least it sort of
Oh,
gives you
look, it sometimes isn't. You're right, but at the same time, look, I always say if it's only $100 or $200 difference between new or used, look, you can use it new every day.
Yeah.
But if you start talking like $300, $400, $500 difference, you just start going. That's when you got to weigh up. How old's the card? What was it used for? Is it an ex-mining card? Then you might want a bigger discount off the buyer. But and also remember, when you're buying used, there's a thing you can do called negotiate or barter. You can't do that at a computer store like
That's
that.
true.
Unless someone else has got it cheaper, mate. That's it. So let me go and have a quick look at our mates at BPC Tech because
Give me a sec. It sounds like the girls have gone to bed now, so I'm just going to crack the door open. It's getting a bit warm in here.
Fair enough. Oh no, here we go. Yep. What did you say? Who had the one for 1,099? Someone had
Senecom that had the pony,
for
1,099.
yeah. Okay, BPC Tech have got one as well. But that is about it. Again, like they don't have anything left. But in saying that, let me go and have a look quickly at graphics cards. Where are we? Oh, yeah. What about a 3080 Ti? Have they got anything in that? No.
While you're looking, I'll just touch on crypto.
Yeah, I was going to say, the whole cause of this stupid pricing, crypto.
The crypto mining, but now mining's gone bust.
It has.
Crypto hasn't gone bust. Well,
No.
it's just looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're both, Ethereum's up 20% over the 30 days. Bitcoin's up 30% over the 30 days, but over the 7 days, they're both down about 5%. They've gone down about 2.5% in the last 24 hours. And I think we've seen a 25%, or not 25%, but a 0.25% increase in home loans and interest rates over the past couple of days.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely going to, I think, look, at some point, it's going to have a massive effect on the economy, because obviously now the Reserve Bank is clearly trying to peg back spending. I'm really surprised. And I look, I'm not a financial guru, so I don't know. Maybe someone significantly more qualified and intelligent than me can explain it. But I would have thought you'd have a lot of exodus from the crypto market because people will go, I need cash, I need hard cash, and
Well, that's what I thought we saw at the end of last year. Like it was dwindling down into December, and then it sort of come back. It started to rise again this year.
Yeah, it's like some people went
I thought
and bought back in again.
Getting, I think what's the saving interest rate at the moment? It's around 4 to 4.5.
Yeah, well, I always used to give shit to my wife because I used to, like we'd have our savings account, and sometimes you have a bit of a rough month and you've paid a few bills and credit card gets a bit high and I'd say, just pay off the credit card, and she'd be like, oh no, I'm not taking it out of the savings. I'm like, what the fucking 30 cents you're getting out of the savings account? Like, the interest rate on the credit card's like 18%. Like, pay the damn credit card, woman. And she'd be like, okay, and off she'd go and pay it. But, and let me tell you, if anyone knows my wife, if I said to her, pay the damn card, woman, they know the appropriate response I would get. If I was legitimately saying that.
You wouldn't be wearing glasses, you have black eyes.
No. But I would just get a look of, You lost your goddamn mind, motherfucker. And I'll be like, oh, sorry, I forgot where I was for a moment. My bad. But yeah, you know. So, but the thing is, yeah, it's interesting. But now I looked last week and I'm like, ooh, shit, that's a bit of interest. Fuck. I'm like, okay, Taxman's gonna need to know about that a bit. Yeah, but it was actually surprisingly, yeah, it was like enough where I don't normally notice the interest payment on any savings we've got, but this month I did. Like I looked and I'm like, shit, okay, that's a bit of money. That's pretty good. And this is where now, like I'm looking at savings and thinking, oh, I need to look at maybe there's some term deposits out there that, you know, they're not going to return anything's flash, maybe 5 or 6% if you lock them away for a year.
Yep.
But you know,
But that's guaranteed 5 or 6%.
exactly, mate. It doesn't matter what the stock market's doing for the year.
Yep.
And that's what I'm a little bit surprised that a lot more people haven't started. I think as interest rates increase, though, I think you're going to start seeing people exit. You might not see as many people exit the crypto because I think people are just like, the people that are left now are like, I'm in for the long haul. I'm gonna hope that there's another bounce again in a couple of years, because otherwise I'm gonna take an absolute bath on crypto. So I just might as well leave it in there and be done with it. A little bit like our Stingray dogs thing, you know. We're just like, fuck it, just leave it there now. And
Yeah, that's what it's sort of doing at the moment. I think we're sitting at about in our actual crypto. I think we're sitting about $480. But then in the horses and that and the actual NFTs and that, I've got no idea what they're up to. I'll have to go.
Are they still worth anything?
I don't. Last I saw, the horses were about $4 each.
Jesus.
But yeah, let's just hope there's a boom come back.
I don't think there will be. I think with NFTs, look, maybe. But I think that NFTs, which will a version of NFTs that'll be worth money, I don't think are going to be these ones. I think they're going to be maybe the next run or the run after, like Bitcoin. Bitcoin didn't take off. It slowly, it had a boom, it had a bust. It had a boom, even bigger, massive boom, and then it's going, you know, it's having a lull. I wouldn't say a bust this time because it's still what, 30 grand?
Where was it? Cryptocurrency prices. Yeah, 32,600.
So it hasn't gone back to like $10. You know what I mean?
No,
like that. No. That's a bust. Like I think crypto would be. I would consider crypto a bust. Anything below 10,000. Anything above that, I think is still like, shit. That's still decent money. Like yeah, okay. All the crypto bros who bought it like 60 grand, they're taking a bath.
Yeah.
And I reckon that's what's left in crypto at the moment. I think it's all those guys, all those people that have bought near the high end of the market and are now just like, fuck it, I'll just see if I can ride it out and hope that I can. But the danger in that is once we do get a bull run going again, I reckon that's the most dangerous time for crypto, because that's when those people who might have wanted to ride it out are going to fucking take their money and go, nah, I know how this ride ends. I'm taking my money and I'm out. I'm done. Like, thank God. Some people will even be like, thank God I broke even. Others might have a bit of pain and go, you know what, usually with a bull run it goes a bit longer and they'll have a bit more, you know, they'll be happy to take a bit more of a risk.
Yeah.
And then, but there'll be very few, but that's where the drama could happen is where if suddenly you're in a bull run and suddenly all these people go, that's it, we're out, fucking thank God we got our money back. The people coming in all of a sudden see this wham and all of a sudden, see, we told you it's a Ponzi scheme. Speaking of Ponzi schemes and crypto and some dodgy stuff, I was talking to a young guy at work and he was in this. He goes, I'm sure it's a Ponzi scheme. He goes, I don't know what it is. So he invested some money and it was like just passive income. So you put your money in and they guaranteed you 100%, 100%. It was some ridiculous, I can't remember. I don't think it was as high as 100%. Some ridiculous percentage, like 50%. I think I'll have to ask him, and next week I'll come back and tell you guys. But it was like some ridiculous, and it was all apparently some dudes in Russia. Yeah, but he got out, and he said, he goes, I didn't have an issue taking my money out. He goes, I've left a little bit in there. He goes, not a lot. He goes, but I've left a little bit. He goes, like, enough that I don't care. Like, he goes, I've still made a bit of money out of it. But he's got a mate who's like all in, and he's going, I'm going to the moon, baby. And he's been trying to say to his mate, fuck, just, you know what? Even if you take your initial investment out and just at least put that money back and go, well, now I'm playing with the house's money. Like when you go to the casino, you win some money. You go, right, okay, well, I walked in with $50. I was willing to lose that. That 50 is now in my pocket. Now I'm playing with house money. And if you come out at the end of that with nothing, you go, well, the night didn't cost me anything, and I just blew a couple of hours, and I've still got my $50 in my pocket. Or you walk out and go, shit, I walked out with $3,000, or $50 or $100 or $10,000, whatever the case may be. And he's really trying to convince you. He goes, no, and he's like, no, I'm going to the moon. It's like, oh, dude. And it didn't sound like this guy was talking about like, a couple of $100. Like, I think we're talking some serious money.
Yeah.
Have you followed that Logan Paul drama at all?
No, with the Crypto Zoo or whatever it was.
Yes.
I haven't seen much of that lately. I saw he's doing wrestling now. He's in the WWE.
Yeah, he did one of the greatest moments in WWE where him and this dude jumped from either side of the ring, came in the middle, and everyone's like, damn, this dude's legit. Like, a lot of wrestlers. I think he won a lot of respect from a lot of wrestlers doing that, because apparently the only give in those rings, because I've listened to Stephen Amell. Did you watch the show Arrow?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he's the actor who played Arrow, right?
I think I watched the first 2 or 3. When they started bringing in characters from others, and I was like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah, I kind of got a bit like that. So he got in. He was a bit of a fan of wrestling, I think, and Cody Rhodes, who's now back in the WWE, got him to come and do a couple of matches, and so he was talking about. So he did a show called Heels, and it's on Hulu or one of those other streaming services. And I'm spewing, I can't say it because it looked like a really good show, and the basis of the show was about 2 brothers whose dad ran a small wrestling company, and that's how the family sort of kind of turned a buck. That's how they ended up living. And he was explaining, like, he goes, people don't realize, like, those rings, the middle has a bit of give, but you fall on the edge of those things. It's like hitting concrete. He goes, everyone goes, oh, it's all made up, it's all bullshit, it's all scripted. It doesn't hurt any less. Like, they go, when they hear that slap on the chest, on the chops, ooh, they go, the first time that happens, ooh, that stings. And they go, and it stings many times after that. And depending on, like, an old thing of the old wrestlers to, kind of haze the new wrestlers in was, they would do it. And those guys would walk out with welts on their chest. And like, mate, it's not real, but, mate, it's tough work. It's hard on the body.
It's clearly entertaining. They got packed out arenas and everything. Everyone loves it.
Look, I don't think it's quite as entertaining. There's actually a really good show if you want to watch on SBS Demand on Vice, and it goes through all the different wrestlers from different eras. I've only watched so far Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, because I was a massive fan of his. And they've got, Mick Foley. They've got, I think, Ultimate Warrior's there, and obviously they would have done the Ultimate Warrior before. Sadly, he passed away.
Mick Foley, was that
Mankind?
Yeah, that's it.
And Dr. Dude Love.
Yeah. I didn't see Dr. Dude Love. Yeah, I remember the
Mankind. Yeah. He was.
I was going to call him the Undertaker. I'm like, no, I know who the Undertaker is. It wasn't him.
Yeah, I think they have the Undertaker as well. I think they've got, and just some of the injuries these guys talk about, like Kurt Angle. I watched an interview with him and John Bethel, the Punisher, because he's
Oh,
got a
yeah, yeah.
podcast, and Kurt Angle's his brother-in-law, and he had him on, and they talk about the business of wrestling. And this guy was a gold medalist. Like, he was a gold medalist at the Olympics and did it with a broken neck. He's a tough dude. Like, he's not, and even he was coming and saying, mate, let me tell you, like, it looks fake, but it's fucking hard work. Like, it takes its toll on you. Like, he talks about all the injuries he's had, and he's like, oh, thank God. He goes, I'm out, and I've let my body recover, and I've had operations, and I've got everything fixed up, but let me tell you, he goes, you take a look at The Undertaker, that dude has not got a long life. Like, I don't think he's got a long life cycle left in him, because I think he's still on that occasion comes out and wrestles, but bloody hell. But many of them have ended their careers. But anyway, so I don't know how we got onto wrestling from... CryptoZoo. That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, CoffeeZilla. Go check him out, guys. If you haven't seen CoffeeZilla's investigation into the whole CryptoZoo thing, mate, the dude deserves your watch. He does absolute stellar job. A really good journalistic job of exposing him. And let me tell you, the amount of people that came out and defend, who had never heard of CoffeeZilla before, and thanks to Logan Paul, they know who CoffeeZilla is.
Oh, okay. He'd probably have a podcast, wouldn't he? Well, speaking of like things to watch, what are you reading anything at the moment, or watching any podcasts or TV shows?
I've been watching a bit of Rogan.
Oh yeah.
He's had a couple of guests on that I've thought. He had one with Jordan Peterson, which was interesting. Don't know whether you know who Jordan Peterson is, but he's kind of, depending on which side of politics you sit on. Some people say he's a sort of a right wing nut job, but you listen to some of his stuff, it's actually not crazy. It's not insane. What he's talking about is really just trying to be a good human being, and how we need to stop telling people what to think and how to think, and what they have to do and all that sort of stuff. But he's not for everyone. So bit of that. What else have I watched? Not really. No, I haven't watched too much at the moment. What about yourself?
Been watching a bit of Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. That's on Prime Video. I'm up to halfway through season 2. That's not bad.
Yeah, John Krasinski is in that, isn't he? He plays Jack Ryan.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I've always wanted to watch it. I started watching, and I've watched the first couple of episodes, and actually, I thought it was all right. I just haven't had a chance to keep watching it. The Recruit, and out of all people who recommended it and said, I reckon this is an awesome show, and I think you would like, my wife.
Oh.
Amelia goes, you need to check that show out. She goes, it's a really good show. I'm like, okay. So I watched the first couple of episodes. I'm like, this isn't bad. I'm like, this is actually quite good. I'm like, this will be interesting to see where this ends up. So yeah, that's another one you might want to put on your radar. Is the Recruit?
Because I don't mind that actor. I forget his name, but he's on like a lot of teen drama that I've watched with my wife and the girls and that. So he's in a few of those movies.
Oh, the guy in The Recruit.
Yeah. Because is it FBI or is it CIA or?
CIA. He plays a CIA agent, but he's meant to just be like an accounting dude, like tracks down Oh no, he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. And you watch that, and you're just like, oh, surely to God, that CIA can't be like that. If it's like that, God Almighty, why would you want to work there? It's insane. What are we looking at? Oh.
And also, speaking of podcasts, we got TNT Footies coming up on the 15th of March with Taz and Todd and myself.
Yeah, so tune in for that.
Watch that. We've got an AFL tipping comp on as well. I think Taz has been posting it a bit, but
yep,
do some more videos over the next couple of weeks and try and get the word out. We're gonna do a weekly. We're all gonna put $50 in each, like me, Taz, and Todd. And we're gonna try and double it each week and try and get up to $1.6 million. I think you got to do it 15 times. So we're gonna do it over each round. So we're gonna try and
like real money.
Real money. We're gonna try and get it. We're gonna try and build it up, and then we're gonna give 25% of the winnings at the end of the season away to the tipping comp winner. So we'll see how we go.
I like. That's a very ambitious goal.
That's what I know. That's what we thought. But if worst comes to worst, we'll put in $150 at the end of the season.
Oh,
So
fair
at
enough.
least the
So
winner
let's
gets that.
at least the winner gets something. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm just having a bit of a more of a look at these 3080. Yeah, there's not a lot. Yeah, a lot of that older stock is drying up. So your best place looks like isn't going to be new. It is going to be going into marketplace with PC parts at the moment.
Yep.
So, you know, oh, wow, really? Oh,
What's your
wow.
find?
So, put this in the. I'll send it to you. That's actually a damn good price. Yeah. So it's an X Mining 3090.
Oh,
EVGA
$950.
for the Win Ultra for $950. And card in excellent condition, used for gaming, light ETH mining. I've replaced the thermal pads, and there are added heat sinks on the back plate as per photos. Oh, oh Jesus. Mary and Joseph, okay, I'm going to show you this. Oh, man. That's all right. I can show this person's details. They're on a few additional heat sinks, Eggy. Just a few. Oh, but it's only being used for light ETH mining. Yeah, because that's what you do with a $3,000 card. You modify it to that extent, just for a little bit of light ETH mining. Just a little bit of light, a little bit.
So have you noticed anything else in the used PC parts market? And what have you got coming up for
D-
sale?
So I have got it coming up for sale for anyone interested in a Z 590 motherboard. So that was the 11th gen. So there was 490 and 590. 590 with an 11th gen 11700K, and that allows you to use all three slots on the NVMe drives.
Oh.
Whereas the 10th gen, so Z490 or a 10 series chip, because I had a 10900K, only allows you to use the first two slots. So if anyone's and also it will be coming with 64 gig of RAM, 4 sticks of 16. Yes, that's math good. Yeah. No, not quite. But yeah, it's 4 sticks, 3600 DDR4 3600. So ideal. Happy to split them into 32 gig if someone wants them as well. And yeah, it's the motherboard's a Z690 gigabyte master motherboard, so it's high end. It's not a shitty 490. It's one of the, like, I actually the Rochi board is the Z7 690 master because it, you know, I've kind of gone a little bit off them after. Now, did I tell you the drama? Now, I don't know whether I've spoken about the drama of trying to get I think I did last week. We had to pay our Centacom friends $20 to update the BIOS and get everything going, thankfully.
Oh, yes, I do remember this. You did, yeah.
I'm like, here's my $20. You are a legend. So, yeah. But yeah, so that's what's coming up for me. Hell, I've even got a slightly used RX 580 or 570 4 gig graphics card that can go in that. and a Be Quiet Cooler if you want that too. I've got that.
So you're not doing your test bench anymore?
No. I'm joking. No, those I do want to keep. No, it'll just be the motherboard and the RAM and the CPU. No. But then I'm actually thinking I just need a case and I've actually got a system. You know that?
Oh, like to put it all together?
Yeah. Nah, I don't want to do that. I want to keep those parts for testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, yeah. But so yeah, so got those. I've noticed DDR4 RAM though. Wow, is it getting cheap? Like
Yep.
I sent you the thing today saying, like someone like non-RGB RAM, I think it was 3200 or something, was it like just over $200?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I'm like, well, if you don't give a shit about DD, like, bling bling lights, mate, and you just want the RAM so you can do the performance. Yeah, but I've noticed DDR4 is getting really cheap, and
Yep.
to be quite honest, if I was someone really seriously looking into flipping PCs, I'd be buying. I'd be buying it. I'd be buying up DDR4 RAM. 1660 Supers, I'm seeing stupid cheap, like
Yeah.
100.
$130.
Yeah, like anywhere between, and I think it depends obviously on the condition, but anywhere between 130 to 108, like close to $200. 2060s as well, like 200, 250.
Yep.
Because like you get a 3060 8 GB for that 441 brand new,
Yep.
and it's probably not gonna perform any different to the 2060, to be honest. It's brand new. It's not used.
Yeah.
Like, why am I going to pay $200 for it? It's getting interesting in the used car GPU market, because what's happened is the 10 series was so expensive for so long, like 1080 and 1080 Ti's, and I'm seeing 1080s now for like $200.
Yeah. Yep.
And to be fair, they're going to beat a 27, like they're going to be as good as like a 2070 Super,
They're just.
but they're old.
Yeah.
And you run the risk that if someone's mined the crap out of them for 2 cycles, amount of life in them is not going to be long. Like, even if you're doing light gaming, man, you're still putting strain on the card. Like, you're still pushing that card along. Also, I've noticed I think there's a lot of people starting to go back to the offices, and I think some, yeah, like yeah, he's a Z690 board, and bloke wants, wow, for a Z690 he wants $400, which is the board I've got.
Yep.
That's interesting. Brand new, need to go on ASAP. Shit, that's not bad. That's not bad, because I certainly paid more than that for it brand new. That if I'd seen that, I would have taken the punt and bought that. What else have we got? Yeah. What? That can't be. That's got to be a scam.
What is it?
A PS5 for $500 with Call of Duty Cold War game. I'd imagine it's obviously like an early release one, where someone got it, early in the, sort of managed to get a hold of one early. Oh, here's a dreamer. Bloke who wants $1,700 for a 3080 Ti. Yeah, no, when a 3900 XT costs you less than that.
Someone wants 800. They had it at 1100. Now it's down to 800 for a
Yeah.
Ryzen 5 1600 AF with a Asus Strix RX 580 8 GB. Includes PC, monitor, mouse, and keyboard.
How much they want all up?
$800 for a Ryzen 5 1600 AF. It's got 16 gig of RAM, a B450 motherboard, 550 Thermaltake power supply, and a 500 gig SSD. And yeah, and it's got an RX 580 8 gig for $800.
It's not bad. It's a good entry level system. I think that's about on the money.
What would you put the RX 580 versus the 1660?
Oh, I don't think it's.
Depends on the age of the RX 580. They've been around for.
Yeah. I reckon the 1660 would take it easily. Oh, one sec. I will tell you in a minute.
Googling it now. Use
Well,
the benchmarks.
1660 Super versus, what is it? RX 580. Here we go.
I reckon the 1660 is 9% better.
9% better. That's not much. Think about that. Is not much.
32% over effective speed, 23% average score, 30% over on overclocking score, but the RX 580 is 38% on value. But they're saying the RX 580 is worth 225, and the GTX 1660. This isn't even a super; it's just 1660.
Yeah.
318. But yeah, you know you'll be able to find it cheaper than that. Half that even.
They're pretty even. Oh, sorry, this wasn't a super. This was a 1660. Yeah.
Yeah.
1660 super. We want because the 1660 super was definitely better. Yeah. Here we go. What have we got? Average 50. Pretty even, man. Oh, Cyberpunk. Oh, that's not going to be interesting. Wow, 1660 Super definitely performed better in Cyberpunk. Oh yeah, 1080p. Oh, what game was that? That's Cyberpunk.
Also,
Yeah.
excellent October. Got a ECA Family Fun Day coming up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you've been working on that, mate.
Yeah. Just sort of an idea, just to get everyone together and still be, because we're all fairly competitive, I reckon, around that when we're playing like Call of Boozy nights and stuff like that.
That we are, sir. That we are. Let's. There's no doubt about that.
Let's bring those games down to the park and maybe have a barbecue and stuff. And
Yeah.
have some fun games. So yeah, October should be good. And the new addition to Solly's family should be around then. He's got a baby due in August.
I was very happy for him, man. Like that's awesome news. Like that's really, really exciting for him. So and a couple of people might be married by that stage.
Oh yes.
So it will be very, very good. Yeah, it'll be a good catch up.
There'll be a few. There'll be Taz and Jordan will be married. Ben and Lauren will be married.
Yep.
I'm not sure what Solly and his partners. I know they're engaged, but not sure when their wedding's due.
Yeah, because
Guab and Toby are engaged as well. I'm not sure when their wedding's due.
Yeah, like when they're meant to have one. So yeah, it's interesting times. It might be a good year, 2023.
Yeah.
So far, touch wood. It's been pretty decent. So we'll certainly live in hope that it's a vast improvement on the shitness of that was 2020, 21, and 22 wasn't great. But yeah, I think my biggest fear for this year is what's going to happen to the sort of the economy and jobs.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
And the way of the future, like AI and stuff, and like people losing jobs to like self-service sort of stuff.
Yeah, I was only reading an article today where Cooper Pedy had its last bank branch close.
Yep.
Apparently NAB was going to do it 2 years ago, and then due to some massive community backlash and probably some pressure from politicians, they backed out of it. But no, there's 2 weeks to go before the branch definitely shuts. And yeah, and they were talking about quite a number of really remote towns, like just basically not having banks, and how that presents not only a challenge for people but local businesses, councils, local government who collect money. And so I thought it was pretty interesting, with some of these rural communities, it's how tough it can be out there. And I think sometimes people forget, some of these people are born in those communities. So it's it's pretty easy for some people to go, oh, freaking move, mate. It's not like you woke up yesterday and went. And admittedly, I have been known to espouse this when people get a little bit unreasonable about, getting deliveries of parts to where they are. You know, it's like, well, you didn't wake up yesterday and go, oh shit, I live in Bumfuck County. Who would have? Oh, I live in Kikatinalong. Oh, you think? Oh, but for, when it comes to banking and stuff like that, and supermarkets, and yeah, it's a bit tougher. That's a bit harder. But there's plenty of rural communities in Northern Territory who, once a week they get a truck coming through with food and they do their grocery shopping then. And these people accept that they live where they live, and it's a tough life, and it's got its challenges, but some people say, oh, I wouldn't have it any other way, which is great. Good on you. Rock on. At least, I think it's when some city slicker moves out and goes, oh, it's no good. No good out here. It's bullshit, mate. There's no bloody supermarket, no internet. The government should pay for it all. And it's like, no, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't.
You're going to move out there.
You're going to move out there, mate. Don't be expecting city level service, It's like, you go to Queensland, you're not going to get Victorian or New South Wales level service. Or you're not going to get paid the same, Very different attitudes. Queenslanders have Queensland time. They just do things in their time.
It's like PG time.
Yeah. Just not quite as relaxed, thankfully.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But, brother, do you have any other topics we need to come off, or miss something?
Gaming? So what have you been playing this week? Or is there any upcoming new games you're getting excited for?
I'm not. I've had people talking about
Hogwarts Legacy?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
Doesn't particularly interest me.
Yeah,
Look,
it doesn't particularly interest me either.
I was saying to someone the other day, I said, these days, it's getting more and more about the story of a game. Because the mechanics of most games are they're the same. Like, shooting's shooting.
Yep.
Enemies are enemies. They level up and all that. And that's cool. But, like, Days Gone was a great example. Like, mechanics-wise, it's nothing special. In fact, it's a bit janky to play. But it's the story. I liked the story. The voice acting I felt was really good. And I thought the story was really, it sucked you into this world. Kind of brought you into this world and immersed you in it. And you're like, wow, how bad would that be? Who are these characters? What's their story? What's their back? How have they ended up being good guys when in the previous world they were not good guys? And that's the thing, whereas, like The Division was the same. I like The Division because of the story. That was a very similar thing. But, and that's why I liked Modern Warfare's story, because it's like, oh, what crazy stuff are these guys going to have to do now? But then once I got to the end of the campaign, the game itself, year on year with COD, doesn't change dramatically. The mechanics and like the maps change. The maps aren't crash hot. Like, they either good or they're not, or they just recycle the same shit that everyone likes, just put a new skin on it and say, oh, it's a whole new map. And it's like, well, actually, no, it's not. So it will be interesting.
What's that other new show that's out on Binge and that was made of a game? I can't remember it with that.
The Last of Us.
That's it.
And that's getting actually some really good reviews.
Yeah,
like
I've heard
saying
that too. Did you ever play that game or?
That is probably the next game I do want to play, because I have heard a lot of people play that first one and go, oh my God, it is really good. And I'm like, it looks very good. The second one, I had a mate of mine who really loved the first one and played the second one and said, ignore the bullshit about the whole, oh, this is all woke and all. He goes, if you put that aside, if you don't think really a lot about that stuff and the media and the attention it's got in the media, and just play the game and go through the story for what it is, it's actually a good game. You said, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Maybe not as much as the first one, but obviously the first one was unique. Second one, it's harder to be different and unique, and well, what else to introduce. So the other game I have been trying to play is a little bit of Fallout Vegas. New Vegas, but it's a junky game. Oh man, like I played on this system, on the Intel one, and it just crashes. So I don't know if it's a RAM thing or what. So thinking there'll be an upgrade of RAM. But I just got to figure out whether I want to go 64 or 32. I think I'm going to go 32 and save my money. But also, yeah, I really... And see how it goes. So, and I did switch on Fallout 4, and I'm like, oh my God, this is way better. I'm like, how did that happen? Because Vegas came out after Fallout 4. I'm like, how come Fallout 4 runs so much smoother? But I think there was more... I think I got supported for longer Fallout 4, whereas Vegas really should have just been a DLC, really. Yeah. It wasn't kind of... I mean, it had a good story. It was interesting, bit of an interesting story, but it was different. It was very different. And it was very buggy when it came out. And it's still pretty... at the moment. So anyway, but... I might try and finish that off, but the other one I really want to finish off is actually Outer Worlds. I've got a copy of the Outer Worlds, and I do. Deathloop is the other one I want to finish. I've really got to go back to Deathloop. Becoming Human, Detroit Becoming Human. Oh, I kind of spoiled it for myself. I went and saw the YouTube videos, so I kind of knew what happens at the end, and it's all about choices, and because there's not a lot of action. It's a choose-your-own-adventure game. That's the best way to describe it. So anyone who wants a really good story and gets to make a few choices and all that, yeah, it's probably a good game to play. What about yourself, mate? You've got anything you're looking forward to or playing or wanting to play?
No, nothing really. Thinking about, I might add a Need for Speed. Was the Heat we were playing to our the one with the spin the wheel of names? I think they're adding that. We'll see if we'll have a crack at that again.
Need for Speed Heat? Yeah, yeah, that's one. If you don't play with mates, it's boring as shit.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, and I'm happy to play that. I'm happy to crush it. Try not. I'll get the. I'll even. You know what? I'll even get the steering wheel and the pedals going. I'll go and pinch it from Gabe's room and bring it in here and rev her up, baby. Definitely. Yep. Sounds good to me. So that's the game you want to add to the Wheel O Games?
Yeah, that's my game. Maybe if you let me share the screen.
I shall let you do that.
And is there anything you might want to add?
One sec. Let me share multiple participants. Do I want to add anything? What can we play? Splitgate.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that actually.
I would like to add Splitgate because that is not a bad little game.
So we got Fortnite.
You got COD DMC.
We got Splitgate.
And Splitgate. And we've got, what did you say? Need for Speed Heat.
Need for Speed Heat. Oh, and away we go. And
Need for Speed Heat is the winner chicken dinner.
We'll have to get out that.
Steering wheel and pedals, yes.
Yes.
Definitely love
So
it.
next week we'll play some Need for Speed Heat.
Yep, so, yeah.
And also the week after, how do you feel about a Tuesday show?
A Tuesday show.
It's just I got Taz's wedding on Thursday, so I won't be home that night.
Yeah, okay. I think that would be good. Yep, Tuesday night.
We'll play it by year. So next week Thursday as usual, play Need for Speed Heat,
Mhm.
but then we'll be back to do the show on the Tuesday.
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me.
What's that? The 21st.
Yeah, I don't think I've got. Look, I think Tuesdays is fine.
Yep.
I don't, you know, sort of with me not training like I used to. Yeah, that's. And I work from home on a Tuesday as well. So Tuesday, Thursday, I work from home. So yeah, sweet. No, that works for me.
Beautiful.
That's not a problem at all. All right, brother. Are you done?
All right, everyone, we are done. That is everything.
That's it.
Thanks for dropping by. You'll see us next week playing Need for Speed Heat. I better make sure I got the game updated and downloaded.
Yes.
Is that on Xbox, isn't it?
Yeah, Xbox Game Pass. Yep, for PC. Yep.
Yep.
I'll do the same in a minute. All right, everyone. Peace out. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for coming. See you all next week.